Recipe notes for this homemade version of Alice Springs chicken. All right, this is such a fun one today, guys. Honestly, this recipe was just born from a craving of mine. This is a dish I used to eat at Outback Steakhouse when I was in high school and college. I think I ordered it every time. I grew up in a small town and we didn't have a ton of dining options, but we did have an Outback, so I ate there a lot. So I'm pretty familiar with this dish and the bones of it, but I've never actually tried to make it myself until now. This is truly a how bad can it be? Who wouldn't want that kind of recipe, as Ina Garten would say? Because it's just really chicken, cheese, bacon, mushrooms, and a very, very tasty sauce. So the bones of it are pretty great, very crowd pleasing. And there's a lot of versions of this out there, a lot of copycat Alice Springs chicken recipes out there if you Google it. But I wanted to make my own version that was suited to my own preferences, and I came up with something pretty great. If I do say so myself. No, I think I had a lot of fun developing this recipe. My whole family ended up loving it, and I think it's good for a couple of really specific reasons. A lot of the recipes for homemade Alice Springs chicken call for mayo in the marinade / sauce portion of the program, and I simply swapped in yogurt. It performs a lot better in marinades. It really tenderizes meat and adds a ton of flavor thanks to the acid in the yogurt. So that was one thing I did to improve a classic. Another very easy and also totally cost-free thing that I did to elevate my version of Alice Springs chicken was to just simply pound the chicken breasts a little bit right before you set them out to marinate. We're using boneless, skinless meat here, and I typically prefer thighs because they've got more flavor. But I liked the breasts in this recipe, but to make them perform their very best for you, you want to pound them out a little bit to about half of their thickness before cooking. That very simple step, coupled with the use of the yogurt, will really help tenderize the meat, and it'll help preserve some of the inherent juiciness. I won't use the M word, but it just really goes a long way with something like a boneless, skinless cut of chicken. So those two simple steps really went a long way in this recipe. And there's one more thing I did that I think really worked wonders in the sauce. I reached for a couple jars of just simple ground and dried pantry spices. I used ground garlic and onion powders in this recipe. I've always got them. I think everybody does. And they really made the sauce sing with flavor, just really, really good. And they're quick and easy as well. And the last thing I did was I used some chicken stock concentrate, which is readily available and is a great quick trick to develop fast, deep flavor in sauces whenever you need to.